Again, another story off the top of my head. I'll tell you one thing, it's been changing all the time. I am from eggs from a chicken to what animal has been out there that has 40 days and 40 nights of birth cycle of some sorts. Now I say 40 days and 40 nights, that would be 80 days. So if I go four and a half, and excuse me, if I go 4 times 80, okay, 8 by 4 is 320 days. So I actually come up with nothing but 300, and 3 and 2 is 5, which means creation, okay? And the 80, okay, is actually of the two worlds, okay, in which would make the 40 days and 40 nights of Moses. In actuality, you can also look at it as the 40 weeks of birth, day and night. You see, God, what God did, now I'm not wanting to say what God did, excuse me. What I think, my hypothesis, is every move he made out of our world was made in our world and was passed on all the way from science. Whatever God finds outside our universe by creating those black holes and plugging them up, it's all science. Okay, so it's being passed on to all our scientists that are studying, to all the astronomers. Is our universe growing? Well, of course it's growing. Do I know for a fact? Absolutely not. I have no facts. I have no fax machine either. And the fact is the result. Because the facts of the reason, the facts of life. God is an explorer. We must gain the universe. We must learn the universe. It's a sequence that happens on the natural. It's a natural element. Throw me a natural and give me a 9. 9 is the birth of a new element. It's the birth of the 9 months of the female. God is out there exploring. We must trap space before space traps us. If you leave your car out long enough on a dusty road, next to a dusty road, you will pick up the sand upon your head, upon your roof, upon your bumper. Eventually, you will not see the sand. It will rot away. Well, what we have to do is, number one, what is rotting away on the outside or decaying on the outside is a natural element of the rebirth of the soul. You see, it's God against the soul. Samson against Goliath. Or is it David and Goliath? So God takes a part outside the universe. He creates babies or angels. You can call them angels. When we fill the space here on earth, he sees another way of filling the space up above our universe. Therefore, saving and gaining space. Saving time and gaining space. Okay? So what we do is, once he has all the elements in place underneath, what he does is he takes the cross of Jesus, he takes the triangles of the mug and double, and he sets them up in certain positions so it holds the universe roof. Okay? We're held down by the roof, the floor, and everything. That's why the poles of the north-south are very, very special. Because these poles are where our posts are planted in, holding up everything. Although you don't see it, but thank God for the matrix. The making of the tricks of God, what he's got up his sleeve and in the bag. God is a musician as well as a magician. What does he have? Does he have a hat trick? If he has a hat trick, does he have an egg? So hat trick, egg hatch. The egg hatch is creating one of us. We split between the angel connect, and we are reborn in the same egg upstairs. So let me get to the universe again. So what he does is he widens our universe, he grows it, so we don't have anything decayed and coming on. At the same time, this process takes in new elements that we've never seen before from the outside of the universe, dropping in here with the mist and the dust, or however he does it, and our scientists pick it up and wow, a new discovery. Where did the dinosaurs come from? Well, we could be actually a few billion years old. And what God has planted on Earth, okay, from outer space, could be the dinosaurs from another world in another universe that was used to create ours because he saw what happened in their world and he knew some of the elements would grow well in the soul of the spirit of man, the angel of God. Anyways, there's just so many things. The word Zion, where does the word Zion come from? Zion or Lion, to Lion. You see, when you write a Zion, can you get that? You see Zion with that line there? Well, that line, okay, I can hard line the top, which means putting a black line above it. Instead, I just hard lined the Z because the other letters were smaller. And actually, the L sideways is an angle for AION, angel of the eye birth of the egg, of the neutralization of the egg when they put them in the incubators and create what comes out of the egg. You see, neon lights, the incubation of the I and the O, which is the sperm and the egg, spermatozoid and the egg. If you turn it, okay, the I is pronounced as an E in French. Now you got ni, Oz, N-E-O-Z. What is ni-Oz? How did I get that? I turned the Z sideways. I turned the other end sideways to be the Z. Now I have ni-Oz. Any, nay, nose. Neigh, a horse says no, but to neigh is to be born. Thus we have a birth of Oz. Birth of Oz, the Wizard of Oz. God is the Wizard of the Oz, the egg and the incubators. As I can explain that in another theory, that the cross line, okay, of that Z, okay, is the poles. If you put a dot, you know, if you put a dot, you see that dot there? Well, you touch that dot and the line. Now you got a line, the line. So now you've attached that dot there, and we've attached it up here. Now we've got part of a snowflake, or the center part is what turns, okay, inside the incubator, and it turns the eggs over 21, actually for 19 days, because in the last 2 days they let it hatch naturally. So they keep turning, and 19 is the number of the spirit. One birth of the 9, 1, 9. Now it looks like this. Okay, now if you want to further process what I'm doing, if you can remember, okay, now it looks like this. Now, do you remember what I was doing? Okay, I was trying to show you what happens to the O and the Z, how the Z works in an incubator. Oz, the Wizard of Oz, the magic man, our God. He is the King of Diamonds. Why the King of Diamonds? I think I showed you yesterday in a video. Obviously, I didn't show you any other way. I'm going to try and show you back in some of these 50 pages that I marked out exactly where that comes from. Because it comes here, right here. The Wizard of Oz. Why everything is in the K. Okay, where is it? Here it is. Here's the K. Now it shows a V and it shows a Y. Now the Y is actually a partial of an X. Okay, so it's the XY chromosome. V is valet or life or delivery, for the delivery of the chromosomes. Okay, as you know, valet is a card jack, and the jack has a hook on the bottom so it can lift the eggs up and bring them over to either to the next incubator. Okay, we're basing this on eggs right now because it's simpler. They're round, they look like the O. And it puts them on that, and then they sit on the table until they hatch. So what you have in here is the K makes an X and a Y. The K makes the V and the Y. The K, okay, if you look up over here at this letter, well, that's actually down here, okay? It's actually the ace. Okay, so you now see that the letter K, okay, has created the K. Oh, excuse me, I forgot about the egg. Okay, excuse me, I can't forget about the egg. Okay, now, where am I now? Right there, the ace. The egg is inside the ace. When it finishes formation, okay, probably maybe still inside the woman. I'm not exactly sure how the queen comes out of this, but I know it comes out. I did it yesterday and I was fine. Today I'm a little off. I'm sorry. Okay. So now we get from the K, we get the queen, we get the jack, and a V is valet for French, and we have the ace. So now everything comes from the K. So now if we add up jack, 11th card, queen, 12th card, king, 13th card, we have 36, plus the ace, 14th card, we have a total of 50. Cat, C-A-T, 3, 1, 20. Dog, D-O-G, 4, 15, and 20. 4, 15, and 7. They both each add up to 26 and 24. Total 50. Same thing as the Jack, Queen, King, Ace. How come? How come a rabbit, male, okay, is said to be a buck. The female rabbit is a doe, and the little rabbit is a kit. So we have the kitten from the cat family. We have the doe from the song Do Re Mi. We have the doe in the kitchen. We have the doe, the cash in her pocket. Now, do you have a buck? Out of that doe, do you have a buck? Can you get a buck out of that? Oh, sure we can get a buck out of that. The buck is the father. He mates with the female doe and they get a buck. And they are reindeer. The rain is the queen of the deer of your female. Rain, let the rains fall, the spirit from the heavens. Deer. Deer is female. Hey dear. Hey dear. No. Deer means both male and female because your wife calls you dear and you call her dear. Therefore, it is a two-faced word. Can I call it a bisexual word because it's for the two sexes? Let me tell you one thing. If it's not bisexual, it's one sexual. Whether it's one sex or the other, does that really make a difference when you're having the sex? Anyways, so I was back to on here. I'm working on Abraham's wives and Isaac and Ishmael. And in the meantime, while I was working on it, I came upon a word. I was a little confused about it. I'm going to try and find it, although it's a word I like. The word was Rachel, and I think it was Isaac and their daughter Leah. So Leah and Rachel is actually me. I don't get it. You see, my names are Raphael, Rachel, Ronald, Ronnie, and Fremen. And when you say them all, and I put the numbers to count, it totals 16 and 21. 16, okay, for the basic total, which is Raphael is 61. So you put 6-1 down. And then Ronald is 64, so you put the 0 for the 10. Anyways, it adds up to 16 and 21, which means creation of God. So it seems like if you're on the right track, okay, then you're going to find something. Now, you have to make sense out of it. Don't forget, when the Chinese says, that could be 20 letters. So our letters were broken down for us. So sometimes you have to remove and exchange one. Okay, it works, don't worry. So you move and exchange one, you turn it sideways, you blackline it up to make them all equal. And then you find out what's in between. Anyways, thank you very much. Raphael 7286, which means in the honor of God is man. We are honoring our God. Doesn't matter. I don't care what you're sitting down and watching, listening. I can't make a mistake. Because if you believe in atheism, then the God of you is atheism. If you believe in any other religion, well, that's your God. Oh, yes, to get to the 12 Greek gods. Well, those gods actually do exist. They're called gods because they are the caretakers of the elements they were put to be at. They're helpers of the Lord. God is king. God is a lower word. He is king of all, the king. King includes everything. God's okay to use for the lower gods, but our God is a king. He is the king of all, the king of one. Anyways, you can say it as you wish because he is God and he is everything but the lower gods of the G-O-D, dog God. He takes care of the doghouse down here. We are the Pound Key, we are the Star Key. We are the X-Men and the Omen of all. And we know without the O and being the men of the O, which means the men of the egg. The O is the egg. We are the men of the eggs that help the women to make our babies. And we thank the women on Father's Day tomorrow. And we thank all those who came out to be just one of me. And you are, and we are. And when the day he shall come, starting this August, I had to move up my date because I made a realization that in the Hebrew years, 5772 is actually 2012, and for us it falls this year, 2012. But for the rest of most of the people on the Gregorian calendar, 2012 falls next December. So I'm thinking it's got to start by August of this year and run for the next 3 years of craziness before someone we are looking for will descend, as he will be in the territorial to be able to leave his position and come and see the low man. There is the low man and the high man. And how do you say low man and high man? Well, Lu is a wolf. L-O-U-P, low. U-P, up, low up. We got the low and the up God. We have the U-P God, the Montreal, let's go U-P. U and P, up for the spirit, U-P-S, sigh and say, sayonara, 7286, Mr. Tacpans's. I'm done.